wisdom and love and justice and mercy, Lord, Holy Spirit. Amen. Give me wisdom and love and justice and mercy, Lord, Holy Spirit. Amen. Give me wisdom and love and justice and mercy, Lord, Holy Spirit. Amen. Give me wisdom and love and justice and mercy, Lord, Holy Spirit. Amen. Give me wisdom and love and justice and mercy, Lord, Holy Spirit. Amen. Give me wisdom and love and justice and mercy, Lord, Holy Spirit. Amen.
Is it just you tonight?
Yep.
I thought so. So that you're working, the one was right. I think some dollars in there. You got it all set up?
Yep. Camera's already rolling.
What?
The camera is already rolling. So I'll make sure it's
I don't
rolling.
know how to do that anyway. Tommy hasn't been here in a while, has he?
Yeah, that's correct.
Are we still looking for a different place?
I'm sorry?
We're still looking for a different place?
Well, because of how everything goes here.
Okay. I wish I had a finished station we could do it on, because the church I started on, the spiritual path, it was in the latest station. It's Precious Life Spiritual Church up in Florissant. It's on Friday nights. It was like, you liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it would pick up for a while. I know tonight there's quite a lot of Halloween stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of places have the trumpet.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, they're ready for, I'll show you. They're ready for the snow. They got that salt out there.
Thank you. All right, there it is. Okay, this is really an interesting situation. Here we are. Here we are. Thank you, Allison, for letting me know that it's working. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Allison, for letting me know. Oh, how about I turn out the volume? Piece of paper. Joyce is here. All right. What time is it? Time to go. All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here, whether in person or virtually. I'm Reverend William, your chairperson tonight. Let us get in the mood by chanting 3 ohms. Opening prayer. Divine oneness of being, ascended masters and teachers, our own personal guides and guides over that circle of light. Thank you for coming in close at this time. Thank you for working with us and through us as we gather here today to align our mind with yours. So mote it be. Open, please, to the first page of your book. We will say together the universal greeting. If this is new to you, please watch the service workers to follow along with the interactive hand movements. I offer you peace. I offer you friendship. I offer you love. I hear your needs. I see your beauty. I feel your feelings. My wisdom flows from a higher source. I salute that source in you. Let us work together. And now we will say together that we believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact, scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the golden rule, whatsoever you would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual, and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul, here or hereafter. We affirm that precepts of prophecy and healing contained in all sacred texts are divine attributes proven through mediumship. We welcome your donations to help us maintain our presence in the community. You may donate via our website, circleoflightstl.org, or our Facebook page. For those who use Amazon, please consider using smile.amazon.com and choose Circle of Light Independent Spirituals Church in St. Louis as your nonprofit. Amazon will give us a small donation at no cost to you. We also collect donations for the Southwest Indian Foundation, which provides stoves and food baskets to Native Americans during the holiday season. Each year, we allocate funds to help them. And if you want to make a donation specifically for SWIFT, just tell us when you donate. Thank you for your donations. All funds received help us in our mission to seek, develop, and teach the knowledge of the relationship between humanity and spirit. The crystal globe displayed here is filled with prayer and energy for healing Mother Earth and all her children. Everyone is welcome to contribute prayers for world peace and world healing. We invite you to add your energy to this sacred sharing. We will now say the prayer for spiritual healing found on the next page, after which there will be a short silence for you to softly say the names of anyone that you would like to receive extra healing this week. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty. I will do my part. I ask the great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God. Announcements. Well, let's see. Next weekend will be the first Sunday in November. I'll be leading a drumming meditation for that service, and we will have a business meeting after that service. And then the last Sunday in November will be our communion service. Everyone is welcome. For our communion, we use bread and golden mead. And if you don't want alcohol, mead is similar to wine. But it's a golden color to represent the light. And if you don't want alcohol, we'll provide juice, of course. A white grape juice is usually what we do, or apple juice. And then the Yule dinner is one of the Sundays in December. But hopefully people show up here in person. I'd like to see your faces in person and we will dine together here, share a meal for the holidays. Very important. Christmas Day is on a Sunday and New Year's Day is on a Sunday. I'm going to do both of those from home. We will not meet in person on Christmas or New Year's because it's a holiday, you know.
Why don't you bring your jingle bells, Christmas?
All right. Thank you again for your donations. Now a prayer over the offering. Divine oneness, thank you for filling these gifts with your wisdom and light so they may do the most good possible. Amen. That brings us to the message portion of the service. Please actively listen to each message. As these come from universal source via our guides, they may be tailored for the individual, but they deliver wisdom to the whole. Please address questions about messages to the message bearer after the service. To welcome each of our spirit workers, we sing together to raise their vibrations in our circle. We view the word God as a universal term for deity rather than signifying any one particular path. Our message bearer tonight will be me, and I am not going to sing up here by myself, so we're going to chant 3 ohms. Why do we chant Om? Glad you asked that question. Om is the Sanskrit syllable that correlates with the third eye, the eye of perception. And that helps us be receptive to those messages. Thank you. My name is Reverend William. I'll be working tonight with Sarah, Mikael, Ellen, Thundercloud, Meridian, and Arcturus. Let me check my list here. Okay. William E. Well, yes, we have these in here. In this building here, we have these, your very typical red lighted exit signs. And the feeling is like in the movie The Matrix, where they need an escape route, some way to get out. So what Spirit's saying here is there must be some situation in which you feel trapped or constricted. And what they're saying here is that, like, it's not nearly as well constricting or like as I let myself go into this like picture, I feel kind of claustrophobic or trapped, you know. And they're saying that's really your perception of it. It's not really as bad as it feels. And the exit is really not hidden or mysterious. That's just a simple, you know, the calmer you are, the better you will feel about it, and the easier it is to see the way to move in and out of that situation. Tammy C. Okay. They're showing me a parrot, but this is specifically a parrot in a video game I play with my son. And in this video game, you can have a pet, to make a long story short. Anyway, like having people around you that just parrot what you say, they just repeat it back to you, is really cool for a while. It satisfies your ego. You get to hear what you want to hear, but you're not really learning anything from them. They're just repeating the same stuff you're saying. So Spirit wants you to walk into unknown territory. Okay, go out, explore. You will encounter new wildlife, and which represents new people that won't just parrot back what you say. Allison. They're showing you, well, exploring. You're on this expedition. You're in the extreme cold, and you got the big coat and everything on. You have the proper gear for this expedition. Well, that's what they're saying here is you've been in this environment. Okay, so we're talking here about the emotions, and you're in this place where there's a lot of ice and snow and extreme cold, which is like frozen or limited or stopped up emotions. Okay, stifled, suppressed, and it's hard to see. I wouldn't say you're snow blind, but it's definitely hard to see. Visibility is low. And what Spirit's saying here is that instead of like trying to figure out why it's so cold, that's not exactly how I'm getting it. It's hard to put words on how this is coming to me. But instead of like studying the ice, why don't you just go to where it's warmer? Okay, so like in your everyday life, this would be like me saying, why am I so pent up? Why are my emotions so stifled? And I'm looking, I think I'm doing like a mature thing of looking at myself instead of blaming other people. But what I haven't done is take myself out of that situation. So thank you. That would even be better scientific method is like, I'm studying myself in this situation. Now I'm observing myself in this situation. So they're encouraging you to change your environment, go to a different climate, symbolically, and then study your emotions, your feelings. Joyce. Joyce is showing you in the desert, and it's a nice desert. It's not just like complete desolation. There's cacti and there's flowers and things. There's plants. It's just not completely dry. So you're in this desert, and you are dressed like a cowboy, and you're in your current day, current time. And you're having fun. You're walking, you're looking like, this is nice, this is fun, I'm having fun with this. And that's great. But spirits encourage you to have fun with it, but also keep a little bit of your attention on your job. And in this case, your job is kind of like
sheriff. You're law enforcement. You're here to enforce the rules, law enforcement, okay? And you can have fun and be friendly, but also remember what you're here for. Nancy. Nancy is showing me this basket. Really well made, sturdy basket. A little bit decorative, but definitely practical for carrying things. What they're saying with this is to be mindful of what you're putting in there. Is it what you really want to take with you? Examine what you're carrying. And it reminds me that there was this woman that was popular for about a minute and a half. I can't remember her name. And her catchphrase was, "Does it spark joy?" So if this really brings you joy, well, then yeah, it's worth the effort of carrying it. But if it doesn't, what's the point? Okay, all right. Lois.
Yes, sir.
They're showing you with this deer skin, and it's like you're demonstrating to me the different ways it could be used. Okay, many different uses for this deer skin, this deer hide. Spirit is giving you a gift that has multiple uses. The only limit is your imagination. Okay. Well, I'm not sure where this is going, but this animal has been sacrificed for your benefit. You get the hide. Other people get the meat and bones and whatever they can do with that stuff, okay? But you get this part of it. It's a spiritual gift that has multiple uses, and they're encouraging you to allow your mind to open and see different ways it can be used. And I don't want to say they just want you to do that. They don't want me to make any suggestions of what that might be. They want you to just sit with it and see what comes to you. All right. Thank you for allowing me to stand between two worlds. All right, I gotta grab something here that I forgot. Let's see if this works. Well, I know it'll work. Okay. I think what we're gonna do. Oh, there. I think what we're gonna do. Gotta get out of this.
For October, weaving in our strengths.
Can you turn the whole thing
It's as loud as it goes.
Allow your body to sink into a state where it is comfortable and unrestricted. Begin by taking a deep breath in and out. In and out. With each deep breath in, breathe in clarity from source. With each breath out, set aside the cares and concerns of your day. They will be there should you choose to pick them up again later. Continuing to breathe in and out at a state that is comfortable and steady for you. Feel your body adjust one last time. Allow your thoughts to turn inward as you journey with us. You see before you a thick wood, a thicket and a forest all wound together as if in one massive wall. As you approach it, it seems that there is no way for us to enter this place, although we feel guided to. Between the vines and the bramble and the undergrowth, trees that have fallen and then continued to grow up straight. Finding our way into this thicket seems a little more challenging than we first thought. It's as if this thicket or this wooded glade represents an issue in our own life, one that we may possibly have trouble finding our way through. And if we take a moment to hold that issue in our mind, we compare it to this obstacle before us. Mixed with greens and browns and grays, much like the issue that we may need to tackle, sometimes clarity is what we seek. Sometimes the clearest way through is not quickly seen. But as we sit with this for a moment and consider what we are working on, we apply the same thing to this thicket before us. We look at it and we try to find the best way in. We have several choices. Do we choose to just start tearing things out? Do we judiciously pick only the things that will bring us access? Do we choose to walk further down this tall thicket to look for an opening? We can go around it. We can even go under it or over it. But sometimes we just need to go through. As we take a moment to consider this personal issue that we may choose to work on, we look at what we are tasked with. There is wood, there is bramble, there are fallen trees, there is grass and overgrowth. We may pick the easiest things to remove first. What is it that's most easily tangible and easy for us to deal with, to work with, or to remove? Perhaps it's just our thoughts about the situation. Perhaps we are overcomplicating things. As we look deeper into the thicket, we see that not too far past this outside wall is a clearing, and we need only get that far. This is just one obstacle that we need to get past. Again, sizing up our issue. What is it that we can remove easily? What is it that is not truth, but only a thought? Take a moment to consider what that might be and how you can easily set that aside. And when you are ready, again look at the thicket to see what is the next thing that we could easily remove. Besides perhaps looking at our situation in a better way, there's a way that we can handle ourselves, not just our thoughts, but how we react to this situation. And we choose the next part of the thicket that we can have access to and easily remove. As we make our way, pulling and tugging, removing the things that are most easily removed, we come across a large fallen tree. It is rotted well enough that we could pull it out of the way. And we think of what this could represent with our issue. A fallen tree, something once tall and stable and strong, now fallen aside and rotted. What feelings are you holding on to around this situation? What could you let go of emotionally that would free up more energy for you to move forward? If it is something you can no longer change and something you no longer have access to, why not choose to release it, to let it go? That rotting tree symbolizes those emotions that we still hold on to that do not serve us. They simply weigh us down and take energy out of us. And as we look at that tree, we simply put our foot on it, give it a little pressure, and it is rotted so through that it falls to the ground. We know that the next part of this thicket might require a bit more maneuvering and creative thinking as we still work upon this issue that we have, that we are trying to clear and trying to release. This next part of the thicket requires us to climb up and over and around some obstacles. And for this, we call upon our ancestors. It is that time of the year, the veil has grown thin, the leaves are falling from the trees. And as we tap into this energy, we ask, how can we weave in the strengths of our ancestors to manipulate or maneuver through this situation we find ourselves in? We stop and we consider an ancestor that we know, or perhaps call upon the energy of one we have not yet met, one perhaps further back through time, and allow ourselves to tap in to that knowledge. Being an ancestor, they are already part of us. We know that the strengths and the abilities of them lie buried deep within us, deep within our DNA. We take a moment and put our hand over our heart and tap into that deep ancestor energy. How would they get through this issue that we are working on, represented by this next obstacle in the thicket? Call upon your ancestors. Call and reach out through the years and ask for what you need. Perhaps you need more help with communication in this issue you're working on. Ask for that. Perhaps you're confused and having trouble finding your way through this situation. Ask for clarity. Perhaps it is something that you just need to sit with until it is past. Ask for strength. So often, we don't ask for what we need. And we have access to all of these energies, all of these attributes, reaching back through our ancestral line and through our DNA. As we tap into this energy, allow yourself to lean into it. In your mind, consider how you can apply it to the issue you're working on. And as you do, like a key fitting into a lock, you hear the click and know instinctively how you can work with this energy. And as you do, it allows you to climb over or under or through this next obstacle represented by the thicket. As we do, we find ourselves stepping out into the glade that we could only see from outside the thicket in between the branches. As we walk closer to the center of the glade, we find that the trees and the woods open up to a clear and beautiful sky. We find a circle of stones, and near each of those is a guide, a teacher, or an ancestor. We have made our way through, and they have been waiting for us. They invite us to step within the circle of stones, and as we do, they step inside the circle with us, turning slowly and looking into the face of each guide or teacher or ancestor. We see the familiarity of the eyes that smile back at us. We feel instinctively, intuitively, that they lend their energy to us, knowing that upon our return, we may apply this energy to our situation at hand. We feel the energy move from them to us like golden beams of light. We are truly the spoke within the wheel. We feel the energy come into us in a gentle and soothing way. We are strengthened. We find clarity. We find the words that we will need upon our return. As we take in this energy, we look up overhead to see the sun shining down on this small glade. As we close our eyes but look up towards the sun, we feel its warmth radiate down and through our body. We feel it shimmering around us even with our eyes closed. We take a moment to absorb this energy of the sun, solidifying the strengths that we have chosen to add to ourselves. We feel the warmth of the sun gently go away. As we open our eyes, we see a cloud passing in front of it, and we find ourselves again outside the thicket of wood. We feel intuitively that we have gained the knowledge, the strength, and the tools that we need to find resolution with this situation. As we turn our back on the wood, we notice that the hill overlooks a valley. As we close our eyes to feel the wind upon our face, we begin to feel the tug of our physical bodies back in our chairs. We begin to feel the slight need to move. And as we take a deep breath and exhale, we find ourselves seated and back within our physical body with all of the strength and tools and energies that we need. When we are ready, we open our eyes, awake, refreshed, and with clear vision on what we need to do. And as always, we say thank you. We say thank you. We say thank you. So mote it be.
Thank you, Melina. I just went smooth as silk. Everything worked. All right. Closing prayer. Divine oneness that man calls God. Ascended masters and teachers. Overlighting angels. Our own guides. the guys who overlight this place and this group. Thank you for the blessing of friends. Thank you for inspiring the people who gather here, whether in person or virtually. And thank you for overlighting our individual and collective path as we go forth somewhere to be. All right, please stand with us in unity as we sing together, let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Hugs.